Howdy there. Well, I'm Matt McKinley, and we're burning daylight, even though it's night. It makes a lot more sense when you're listening to me during the day on a podcast. But anyway, I host a little show called Burnin Daylight, and it's focused on and focused to the working cowboy, which is what I do for a living. I'm a cowboy in a feedlot here in western Nevada. With me today, I got Sam McCue. He's out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And Eric Shields, he's out of Raiden, Oklahoma. And we're here to celebrate cowboy poetry again this year. Sam joined me here at the stage door last year. And as far as I can tell, we were the only live show in town. Is that right?
It.
The only ones.
Yeah, we did it.
Or the only ones cowboy enough to come to cowboy poetry last year. I think partner down here was in North Dakota last year, so it's a little bit of a jaunt to make it, but he made it this year, so that's good. And well, once again, we're some of the only people cowboy enough to come to cowboy poetry.
A few more this year.
A little bit more this year. It's good to see everybody. Boy, it's been 2 years of a 14-day pandemic, you know?
Yeah.
2
years. Is
years
the curve
now.
flattened yet?
It is flatter than flat. It is Kansas flat. Until next week when the double ultra silent Omicron comes up.
In theaters.
So, this was kind of my first show on the road, podcast-wise, was here in Elko last year. And shortly after, I kind of took the show on the road. This is where I met Eric. I made a trip down to Guthrie, Texas, to meet a fella named Boots O'Neill. If you don't know who he is, you should check him out on the Burnin Daylight podcast. He turned 89 years old this year, and he still cowboys for a living on the 4-6s ranch down in Guthrie, Texas. And he's still 5:30 in the morning, saddles a horse every single day. And I've had the honor to get to know him, but it took a little bit. So I flew into Denver, Colorado, drove down to Dighton, Kansas, performed a wedding, and then I drove down to Raiden, Oklahoma, did a podcast.
We drank a lot of stories and told a lot of beer.
And we did it eloquently.
Eloquently.
And we did some philosophizing, and we went to bed real late at night. And then I drove down, and I tried to explain to an 89-year-old cowboy what a podcast was. And I tried to convince him that this was a good idea for him to talk cowboy stories with me on the internet. And he's still not real sure what the internet is and what it does, but he does know what a podcast is. And I've kept in touch with him ever since. I call him just about every Sunday and shoot the shit with him and tell cowboy stories, and I learn a lot from him. And my wife, every now and then, she's like, "Well, you got to go call Boots." And I said, "Yeah, I do." And then I always think, well, I wonder what Boots is doing. If he doesn't answer his phone, I get a little nervous, and I realize, I kind of feel like I'm dating an 89-year-old man. and the thing about semi-dating an 89-year-old man is when you're that old, your life consists of kind of going to the doctor, and that's about it. And so you get to hear a lot of the gory details. You know how you guys all have your family members that overshare their medical information. And what I've also come to figure out that over the course of this 2-year, 14-day pandemic is that we have all become 89-year-old men oversharing our medical information. And are you vaccinated? Did you get the chills with this variant? Did you lose your sense of taste? And did you take Viagra to treat it? Because that's a thing now as well.
I've been told I've never had any taste.
And you never had any Viagra either. Wink, wink.
Allegedly.
But anyhow, I don't know how we got to this point in life, but it's good to be out here in front of a crowd and performing live in front of people. And you guys are not, I don't see a mask, and that's a good thing. And if you do have a mask and you want to wear it, I'm fine with that too. But hey, we're going to put on a show, and I'm very happy to be here in Elko, Nevada, one of the coolest towns in the United States. So thanks for coming out. Give a big hand for Sam McCue and Eric Shields. And what do you got for us, Sam?
Oh, I'm starting her? We're going
You're starting.
left to right? Or?
Yep, just like reading a book.
Oh, hey. My name's Sam McCue. I'm from Montana originally. My wife and I live in Idaho now. It's a great place. There's worse places to be, I'll put it that way. It's a great spot. But coming down here just fills my cup. Seeing all the art and the influence and everybody coming together down here, I love it. So I want to share some of my original tunes tonight. This one is very close to my heart. It's about the family place back in Montana. It's loosely based on the family place, but it's called This Old Place. Every winter's a little colder, at least the horses are nice and fat. Everything that needs a fix, I don't know where the right tool's at, and Mama's still working just as hard as the rest. So many miles to fence her down, it's become a bitter test since Daddy went to heaven. This old place has gone to hell. Well, the house needs a new stove. Brother's drowning in the 100 proof. The ruts in the road get worse with each load, and the barn needs a new roof. And the beef just isn't selling like it did last year. With the snow come too early, run out of hay early on next year since Daddy went to heaven. This old place has gone to hell. Daddy told me everything would be alright if I kept the good Lord as my guiding light. I haven't talked to my brother 'cause we can't get along. The more distance we keep, the more things go wrong. Since Daddy went to heaven, this old place has gone to hell. Since Daddy went to heaven, this old place has gone to hell. We've been fighting so damn hard to keep up with the cost. Mama pounds that sign in the ground, and we look up at what we've lost since Daddy went to heaven. This old place is up for sale.
Wow.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Love that song, Sam.
Thanks.
Well, Eric, I've took up plenty of time, so why don't you take next one?
That's hard to follow up, fellas. I like that. Oh, I don't have any original songs, but play a few songs you probably might know. Wish a buck was still silver, was back when the country was strong. Back before Elvis, before the Vietnam War came along. Before microwave ovens, when a girl could still cook and still would. It's the best of the free life behind us now. Are the good times really over for good? Are we rolling downhill like a snowball that's headed for hell? No kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. Wish a Ford and a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. It's the best of the free life behind us now. Are the good times really over for good? I wish Coke was still cola, joint was a bad place to be. It was back before Nixon lied to us all on TV. Back before Nixon, a man could still work, still would. And us now. Are the good times really over for good? Are we rolling downhill like a snowball that's headed for hell? No kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. Ford and a Chevy should still last 10 years like they should. It's the best of free life behind us now. And are the good times really over for good? Are we rolling downhill like a snowball that's headed for hell? Let's stand for the flag and let's all ring the Liberty Bell. Let's make a Ford and a Chevy that'll still last 10 years like it should. Best of free life is still yet to come, and the good times ain't over for good.
Hell yeah.
Thank y'all. I think that song really holds a lot of meaning to me these days.
Yes, sir. That was good. That was
hits.
good. Merle Haggard was he born in California or was he born in Oklahoma?
He was born in California. His family moved in from Oklahoma. And
From Muskogee.
not from Muskogee.
You know, he said that is, I don't know.
Was it Muskogee?
I'm not sure where his family was
Song.
from.
If the song's any truth, I don't know.
He said that was the only place
he's
in
a
the United
liar.
States that he didn't smoke marijuana, though.
He did say that.
Maybe Nixon wasn't the only one lying.
Well, should do a poem.
You gonna read one for us?
I could.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. This is the original one I wrote. Finished it up this morning, actually. And so, if it sucks, just know that I spent all of like 2 hours on it, and that hurts my feelings. It's called Farting on a Colt. 3 fellas gathered there at the bar, all lined up on their stools. Whiskeys were shot, buckskins were bought, just the boys acting fools. The hours passed as their voices rose and the tales grew taller. One up and the next, oblivious to the fact that their crowd had grown considerably smaller. Old Tell exclaims, boys, you ain't lived till you've jumped out of the back of an airplane. I've done Halo and I've done Hey-Ho, and the ladies have all given me acclaim. Well, Willie pipes out and says, boys, that just ain't shit. Try calling in a big bull elk right in the middle of the rut. There's a shriek of the bugle and the crashing of the brush, and that broadside pose, majestic as fuck. Well, Slim, he kind of blushes, and he knocks back a shot, and he carefully scrutinizes his glass. Said, I don't know much about jumping out of a plane or whacking a bull, but I'll tell you one that's a real kick in the ass. See, boys, it's mighty cold out there, frosty as hell, the mercury pegged below 0, and I'm just a cowboy. I'll be saddling up that young colt over there, and unlike y'all, I'm no superhero. See, old man Winter, he stopped in, made himself right at home. I saw on the news today that it was warmer up there in Nome. You see, a young horse on a cold morning's a little more than a leather bag of nerves. And the moves he can pull off on the ice, boy, they'll make Wayne Gretzky observe. You'll compound that with the chili that's just bubbling up there in your belly. And just thought of the tiniest little poop, turn your knees into jelly. Yes, sir, jumping out of a plane or taking down a big trophy bull, that'll give a man a hell of a jolt. But I swear to all that's holy, there ain't nothing more precarious on a cold winter morning than farting on a colt. Thank you.
That's good, man.
Oh, shoot. That, Eric, I would imagine you've experienced this type of situation, because as I said, the colt on a cold morning, well, any horse really is very little more than a ball of nerves, but a colt in particular, and they're just looking for something, anything at all to spook at. And yeah, there's times when you eat chili for a week straight because it's cold for a week straight, and I know you're from down in that Texas area, and if you don't have beans in your chili, all it is spicy sloppy joes.
That's all. Sloppy joes on a bun. No bun.
Right. And so, yeah, you're going to have some farts built up, and when you get a good old cheek clapper just bouncing off the saddle, that is sure to set a colt off, and then that's going to set the next horse off, and the next horse off, and it is cold and icy, and you got shoes on your horse, and it gets downright dangerous. Just something as small as that.
So we've arrived at fart jokes.
I don't stray far from fart jokes.
That's
ever.
good. I mean,
They're funny to me. I mean,
that's my bread and
everyone
butter.
can have their own opinion.
Oh, shoot. Well, now I got to follow that.
You're welcome,
I
Sam.
better play something upbeat. So, this winter I found out, I did a little looking around and found out Marty Robbins, his granddad was a gunfighter.
Oh, no kidding.
I didn't know that, and that kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When you think about it. So, I thought it'd be kind of cool if my granddad was not a gunfighter that I know of. But I thought it'd be kind of cool if he was, so I wrote a song about it. This is called Notch Number 1. Notch number 1 on my granddaddy's gun will always be a family mystery. He claimed all the rest, held that card to his chest. All that's left and handed down to me. Notch number 2, he almost didn't do. Shot him through the gut in Santa Fe. Made numbers 3 and 4, coming looking for a score. Granddaddy shot him dead on a Saturday. Notch number 5, he almost left alive. Foolish hands cleared leather seconds late. Through any it's a brand new song.
Oh, man.
And that brought down the law, 'cause a stranger watched them draw.
Saved it.
Days later they'd become 6, 7, and 8.
Professional.
Notch number 1 on my granddaddy's gun will always be a family mystery. He claimed all the rest, held that card to his chest. It's all that's left handed down to me. Well, the heat simmered down in a West Montana town until a vigilante recognized his face. Through any mist, then he made Granddaddy's list and disappeared from there without a trace. Years later, when well past number 10, Granddad came home drunk enough to fight. Grandma took off on her horse, took Daddy and no remorse. She decided that the time was finally right. And that night he lost his wife, Granddad took his life. His note confessed his crimes, all but one. And if you look at each mark, the rest are old and dark. But the first one's brighter than the rest of them on that gun. Notch number 1 on my granddaddy's gun will always be a family mystery. He claimed all the rest, held that card to his chest. It's all that's left is him and haunting me.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.
Thank you. I haven't played that one much, so.
That was good.
I like that. That was good.
Thanks.
Everybody likes a little gunfighter song.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
That Marty Robbins gunfighter ballads and trail songs is one of the best albums ever written.
It's a good damn album.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good record. It never really pulled at me until, I don't know, recently. Just a lot of the people I listen to really harken back to that. And, you know, you respect somebody who makes music and you think, well, if they like this person, I should probably give it an honest go. And I did. And it's a good album. It really is.
I've done several podcasts on different gunfighters, and some of the most vicious comments I've got on YouTube, and
You read the comments?
Well, I typically only get like 5 or 6 views on a video, so yeah, hell yeah, I read the comments.
Hey, there's a Montana Grizz shirt. I'm a Bobcat.
I had a lady that was direct descendants to the gunfighter Clay Allison tell me that I was a no good son of a bitch and nobody was gonna talk down her family like that.
Yeah, she sounds like a smart woman.
Very stable, is what I gathered. Very stable.
Well, she got the son of a bitch part right.
Well,
the rest of that sounds like hyperbole.
She's not wrong, but no, she's not wrong. Okay. What do you got for us, Eric?
All right, I got a little bronc fighting song for you.
Hell yeah.
He's hung his old saddle up high in the barn. Made her promise his cowboying is done. Said I've won them big buckles, done all I can do, and I'm ready to spend my last years here with you. Said we'll break out them flatlands that ain't been plowed in years. We'll plant wheat and white oats, they'll do well up here. And I'll buy us some baldies to run in the hills, and I'll snap a few bad ones just to help pay the bills. 'Cause the winters get long up Albert way. Clouds get so dark at times there's no light of day. And the long nights get lonesome and cold while she waits, as she dreams of a cowboy named Dawson McCue. Well, he made it just fine till the harvest was done. His feet started itching, he wanted to run. He quietly entered the Calgary Stampede, and the first that he took just put wings on his feet. And she cried when he showed her the money he'd won. She knew by the first light of day he'd be gone. But he promised he'd quit when the season was through, and he'd be home to plant wheat before winter winds blew. 'Cause the winters get long up Albert way. Clouds get so dark at times there's no light of day. And the long nights get lonesome and cold while she waits, as she dreams of a cowboy named Dawson McCue. Well, the summer went fast, he was riding the mall. Placed at Cheyenne and first at Sioux Falls. He was sending home money, his intentions were good. But then life for a cowboy don't go like it should. 'Cause he drove him a bad one at Frisco that fall. A mean one to ride was a shoe fighting horse. In the first jump he stumbled, fell and he rolled. As his neck snapped like straw, Dawson's body grew cold. Now the bad weeds have taken the flatlands again. There's a few strands of wire where the fences have been. The baldies are starving in the hills where they graze, while she's rocking the first son of Dawson McCue.
That was good. I like
Thank
that.
y'all.
Passing the ball back to me.
I'm gonna pass. You guys are on a roll.
You guys having a good time tonight? All right. So cool to see you guys all out there. You guys, this makes it all worthwhile. You know, we had a 14-hour drive. We're just happy to be here, having a good time, knocking back a couple, telling stories. So.
It's a good time. Good time.
I'm gonna play another new one. This one I gotta give credit to Jesse Stetson. He's out of Fromberg, Montana. He's a friend of ours, and he gave me the idea for this song. And he's like, "You gotta write a song." Well, I won't give it away, but Jesse, if you're listening, we're doing a live stream too. So if he's listening, this one's for you, buddy. It's called "The Hardest Hand." Met him in the death grip of winter. We were too broke to hire help, and he worked for his supper and a bed in the shop. He was grateful, that much I could tell. He had no ID or papers. All we knew was he came from down south. Was the first one out the door and the last one to bed, and always had a smile on his mouth. He became a family as he worked our land. He was gentle with the boys, hell on those cows. That healer was our hardest hand. chase off the cats and the coyotes. Keep an eye on the boys by the creek. And he'd walk on ahead when I'd catch my breath. And the late night before left me weak. December mornings came early. Winter tried to keep me in bed. A cold nose on my hand was all that I'd need to shake these warm dreams from my head. Since the day he appeared, never left our land, earned a bed in our house. That healer was our hardest hand. We were shipping that fall when we got himself kicked in the head. Slowly, surely he fought as I nursed him back from near death. Stayed with us as long as God planned. That healer was our hardest hand. When his eyes turned to gray, he could no longer stand. Made our way up the hill, laid to rest our hardest hand. Thanks.
Good song.
So Jesse Stetson, we were sitting in he's a knife builder. He was sitting in his shop, in his forge, and he's building these knives. And he's like, I got an idea for a song for you. And I hate when people say that because they... like, great, what is it about, like a girl? Or like a beer? He's like, no, you got to write a song about the cow dog being the hardest piece of flesh on that piece of land. And I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. So, Jesse, if you're out there, that's...
You're still my favorite emo singer, Sam.
Yeah. You're just mad I made you cry once.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't a good song. I said this as a total compliment. You have the most emotional songs out there, and I happen to like your songs, all right?
Thank you.
If you would have just, said all that without the music behind it, everybody's been like, quit being so gay, all right? But as soon as you put music to it, they're like, hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Do we have to say, not that there's anything wrong with that?
Not that, everybody knows what we mean. Oh, by the way, I've got an idea.
Neil's problem.
Neil Young, I don't know if you guys have heard, he is now off of Spotify because Spotify called his bluff. And I'm putting the word out there. For a certain amount of money, if there are people that you want to see pulled from Spotify, I'm looking at Florida Georgia Line, all the shitty bands, I will spread so much misinformation so that they will say Spotify, it is me or Burnin Daylight. I will spread so much misinformation to get them pulled. So much.
Please do.
It's my civic duty, I feel like.
Ask for the manager of Spotify.
Yes, I think so. I was going to read a poem, but I don't know how to follow that up with a poem, so follow it up.
Guess it's finally right. It's down to 85. I bet the fish are biting down by the riverside. But it's the only place made colder around here in the middle of June by the endless stream of strangers brought by the summer moon. My brother moved off to Houston, most of my friends stayed gone. I need to pay my taxes, don't like to mow my lawn. And I have a harmless habit of being fine wherever I am. But the way this water's rising, I need to get up above the dam. Well, tonight I'm going up north, back to where I paid the dues. Tonight the answer's Elko for the Cold Mountain County Blues. There's one rolled in my ashtray, and I'm taking Hunter Road out by Riley's Tavern, where my liquor loved to flow. Skip around San Marcos, stop until Doug Hello. Second year of Congress, oh, I like to take it slow. Well, tonight I'm going up north, back to where I paid the dues. Tonight the answer's Austin for the Cold Mountain County Blues. One right beside me helped me make it through that town. We moved out to the country and we bought a wedding gown. We still know our ways, learned that lesson well back around the turn of the century from a one-room roadside cell. Yeah, tonight I'm going up north, back to where I paid the dues. Tonight the answer's Austin for the Cold Mountain County Blues. Yeah, tonight I'm rolling up north, back to where I paid the dues. I guess tonight the answer's Elko, Cold Mountain County Blues.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Love that song. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What do you got, Matt?
All right. This one is it's from a fella named Samson Moss. He's out of I believe Alberta, Canada, somewhere. He's maybe Saskatchewan. I don't know. Canada's Canada to me, but
Everything north of the border is just fluid.
snow Mexicans. I'm half Mexican, so I can say that, and you guys are all racist for laughing. Okay, that works too. I'm not that. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. All right. So his younger days were spent across some far divide. 4 different marks of ownership scorched into his hide. His shoulders show some tracks where the iron took a hold. They say he was a bad outlaw when they tried him as a colt. He looks to be about middle-aged, 10, 11, I would say. The grew up as a range horse, not stalled and eating hay. The miles he saw were endless on the days they got him rode. A lot of days he took his leave by getting something he throwed. There's white marks on his withers, wet saddle blankets he defied. He clung hard to his old ways, only the hungry ones made the ride. His hammerhead and Roman nose speaks of C.M. Russell. By his flared and blowing nostrils, I'd say he wants to tussle. Now he's in my string, the new member of the team. The two of us have more in common than you could ever dream. We spent the days of our youth living wild and free. We swore they'd never truly break us. Just count our scars and you will see. Haul him to the canners, him and all his kind. There's still a few old hands around, them outlaws we don't mind. You say feed him to the coyotes, I'd say he's my next of kin. Yes, he's just an old reprobate, but I'm not too far from him. No, it's not pride or stupidity that keeps us in our traces. It's a love for helping broken things. We keep each other in our places. You see, we need each other. It's a checks and balance deal. Some days he'll win and I'll eat dirt. That's what keeps life real. Call me a fool, call me proud, call me what you will. Blood of Bronkman ancestors feeds my heart and soul still. God made me to be just what I am. I'm happy where I am here. Save your useless speeches for some younger supple ears. I have told you why and how it is. I have spoke my truth. An old Bronk man still paying off their youth. And I said that wrong. That was Dan Hartman. He's an old Bronx stomper from eastern Montana.
Oh, yeah.
And his, I got the order mixed up. But yeah, Dan Hartman is born about 150 years too late. His direct ancestors were some of the first people that drove cattle from Texas up to Montana. And he told me a story about when he first started cowboying. They put him on a horse, and they turned him out into a 10-section pasture, and off they went. And that horse had never been rode before. You blindfolded him, you front-footed him, yanked him down, blindfolded him, saddled him, and off he went into 10 sections. So you had plenty of time to get him slowed down eventually, if you made the ride. And Dan does a lot of bronc stomping, and he's a character. And turns out he writes a pretty damn good poem too, if I do say myself.
Well, I had one in mind, and then you're talking about Dan Hartman. That kind of first of all, he's like one of the funniest guys I think I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan, he's a good guy. He's also from the country in Montana where a lot of my family's from. And my granddad told me a story one day. In this story, I don't know. Basically, I don't know all the middle parts of this story, and he would never tell me. But their last name was Askin, A-S-K-I-N, and they came over from Ireland, and he told me that their name was Erskine over in Ireland, but they changed it at Ellis Island when they came here because I think it was his great, maybe there's another great in there, grandfather killed a priest in Belfast and then came over. And so I'm trying to get some more details out of my mother, and she's like, don't write a song about that, Sam. And I'm like, nope, but he was there. Like, it's, what's the statute of limitations, honestly?
Yeah.
So I know, hot. I wrote this song. It's called Hallowed Ground. It's about that story, and I made up all the middle parts. As I sailed away from Ireland, I knew that luck would be my last. I'm headed for the west and far away from my past. And I changed my name at Ellis. The old me was soon deceased, in case anyone came looking for the man that killed that priest. I found purpose on the railroad as we toiled hand in hand. Still grateful for my freedom, cheating out Van Diemen's land. When the iron vein reached Ogden, I knew not which path to take, so I headed for Montana and the Powder River breaks. I used 24 wages to buy 40 pairs of sheep. Worked a life out of that broken land and found some sweet relief. Soon I found myself a lass. She took my made-up name. We dealt with children on our little homestead claim. Well, she never missed a Sunday, and I'd always stay at home, not setting foot on hallowed ground until I could atone. Bless me, Father, please forgive me. It's time to air my sin. I haven't had confession since we both know when. See, once before I had a daughter, and she was faithful to the Lord. She worshiped with a pastor who became untoward. And today's the anniversary of the day I left the East, the day her innocence was lost, and the day I killed that priest.
There you go.
See that? People still clap for a priest-killing song.
Well, I mean,
Dan Hartman made me think of that, though, because my, Powder River area, that's where he's at.
Well, that priest probably had it coming.
See, I made up all that. I don't know why he.
I mean,
I was like, what would make a man kill a priest and change his name?
Have you followed the Catholic Church here in the last recent memory?
I'm a recovering Catholic.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't need to get into that.
What is a recovering Catholic? Is it?
They call them musicians.
Something about repressed anger and shit.
Boy, I opened a can, didn't I?
Man, the emo thing really is starting to ring true, ain't it? Love you, Sam. Love you, Sam.
Love you too, buddy.
Anybody out there work with cows? Just one? All right, so I work with a mix of a lot of different cattle, but this time of year in particular, we shipped out all our beef cattle, and I deal primarily with Holstein heifers. And if you don't know what a Holstein heifer is, they're the big black and white, happy cows live in California, all that bullshit. And they're not really a cow, to tell you the truth. They're like the biggest, dumbest dog you've ever met in your life.
They're like cats.
Every single survival instinct that a cow has ever had has been bred out of these animals, and all they have is big black and white spots and big old tits that make giant amounts of milk. And that is it. And one of these days, I'm going to make me $1 billion, and I'm going to buy a ranch out here somewhere in Elko County, and I'm going to turn me a whole herd of Holstein cows out on the range, and I would just want to see how long they make it. How long they make it. And I have a theory, and Sam knows this theory very well. I think before too long, that whole herd of Holsteins is going to run the entire mountain range, because if there's a lion out there and they happen to get a glimpse of that thing, they're not going to run. They're going to go all bug-eyed and they're going to run right up to it. And that coyote, whether it be a coyote, a lion, whatever, they go, what the fuck? I'm out. I don't know what is going on, but I'm out. And that might be the best predator control, is just get you a bunch of Holstein cows.
Get a bunch of cameras, though, and do it like Meerkat Manor.
Well, I want to do that. And I want to call it
on cows.
I want to call it Free Range Holstein. And I want it to be narrated by Gilbert Gottfried. The Holsteins are making their way up towards the cat.
The matriarch of the herd. It's approaching the mountain lion with promise.
These animals have no survival instincts. I think it would sell, and I think the ratings would be excellent.
I think Gilbert Gottfried's looking for work, so let's put this together.
I think we could get him cheap, and it might win an Oscar. I guess television show wouldn't be an Oscar though. So an Emmy. If Andrew Cuomo can get a daytime Emmy for lying about COVID, and then I should be able to get a daytime Emmy for giving Gilbert Gottfried a job, and also doing a scientific experiment and seeing how long a Holstein will last on the free range Holstein. Coming to Netflix near you sometime.
Yeah, they'll take anything.
I think so. You know Gilbert Gottfried's in.
He's looking for work.
Yeah. What do you got, Eric?
It's a Tom Russell tune.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Pancho Villa crossed the border in the year of odd 16. And the people of Columbus still hear him riding through their dreams. He killed 17 civilians. You could hear the women scream. Blackjack Pershing on a dancing horse was waiting in the wings. Tonight we ride. Tonight we ride. We'll skin old Pancho Villa, make chaps out of his hide, shoot his horse, siete lewas, and his 27 brides. Tonight we ride, tonight we ride. We rode for 3 long years till Blackjack called it quits. When Jackie wasn't looking, I stole his fine spade bit. It was tied upon his stallion, so I rode away on it to the wild Chihuahuan desert, so dry you couldn't spit. Tonight we ride, you bastards dare. We'll kill the wild Apache for the bounty on his hair. Then we'll ride into Durango, climb up the whorehouse stairs. Tonight we ride, tonight we ride. Woo-ha!
Here for these guys.
When I'm too damn old to sit a horse, I'll steal the warden's car, break my ass out of this prison, leave my teeth there in a jar. You don't need no teeth for kissing gals and smoking cheap cigars. I'll sleep with one eye open, neath God's celestial stars. Tonight we'll rock, tonight we'll roll. We'll rob the Juarez liquor store for the reposado gold. And if we drink ourselves to death, ain't that the cowboy way to go? Tonight we'll ride, tonight we'll ride, tonight we'll fly. We're headed west, towards the mountains and the ocean, where the eagle makes its nest. And if our bones bleach on the desert, we'll consider we are blessed. Tonight we'll ride, tonight we'll ride.
Yeah.
Heard that one on the radio on the way up here and spent the next 45 minutes of the drive practicing it in the car with no room.
That's a good one. Tom Russell was a hell of a songwriter.
He was a songwriter.
I guess he's still alive, ain't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So he still is. The Rona ain't got him yet.
Man, I'm really impressed, man. You crushed it
Thank you.
over there.
Appreciate it.
I just met this guy. He's fantastic.
Yeah, let's give a hand. Eric Shearer.
Thank y'all.
Sam McCue as well.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that rhythm.
Right on. I can't help myself.
No, I really appreciate it.
I wanted to give a special thanks to some friends who came out. You know, my buddy EJ over here. He'll get up and play a little bit with us here in a bit. And then Dylan, who disappeared. And then, oh, he's right there. He's flipping me off. And then my buddies Al and Justin that just came in here and took me by surprise, guys. They're old buddies from Montana State. But, you know, it's all right. You guys beat us this year. Yeah, we got our butts kicked. Let's see. I'm going to play another song about a friend of mine. This guy, he's a close friend, and I choose not to say his name over the internet, which Matt has hooked up there. So, but he was a good friend. He is a good friend of mine. He ranches out in eastern Montana, and single guy, you know. And oh, that's dangerous. About to get sloppy.
Oh boy.
And he was night cabbing one night, and he was texting me, and I was up for some reason, and just talking about, just being alone on his place, and kind of spoke to me, and so I wrote this song about him. He's one of them guys that's a little lonely, but too proud for farmers only, so, but I love him to death. So this song is called I Don't Care. My flashlight cuts this whiskey breath escaping into the night. Hoping 3 more calves will drop before I see the morning light. She used to hate me out all night, late into the spring. That all changed the night she told me that she couldn't wear my ring. She said she'd rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather or if the price of beef is fair. She can't even imagine half the life of being a poor old cowboy's wife. So I'll sit there in the cold and tell myself that I don't care, that I don't care. Only smoke these damned old cigarettes to alter the effect that the whiskey has on my perception of the noose around my neck. I sure ain't getting any younger. My shelf life's coming due. I can't deny the things she left me for were anything but true. She said she'd rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather if the price of beef is fair. She can't even imagine half the life of being a poor old cowboy's wife. So I'll sit here in the cold and tell myself that I don't care, that I don't care. No, I'm just a stubborn bastard. I probably get that from my dad. When I think of all the arguments that we never should have had, I made my mind up in this pasture in the middle of the night that I'd get these calves to summer before I'd let that new straw tight. If she'd rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather or if the price of beef is fair. She can't even imagine half the life of being a poor old cowboy's wife. So I'll sit here in the cold and tell myself that I don't care, that I don't care, that I don't care, that I don't care. Thank you, guys. So that is Matt McKinley's one and only writing credit.
I'm gonna use that.
Send him that
writing-
song.
I'm gonna use that writing credit to its full advantage.
Yeah, you're gonna get dozens of dollars.
I know. How many plays do you have to have on Spotify before it makes $1?
Like 1,200.
I have that song on repeat.
Oh,
just
yeah.
so I can collect them royalties.
Dude, you're paying my mortgage right now.
Well, you're paying me royalties. I do have a writing credit on that song.
I sent him that song, and because I send Matt every song. I'm like, whatever. I got to get Matt's take. And it was stable grown up man, and he goes, stable grown ass man. So Matt put ass in my song.
Yeah, I did.
And
You're welcome.
And there you have it.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. It's that sad sack shit only works for a little while. You got to put some grit behind it, Sambo.
Yeah, you're right. Too much bubble
Yeah.
gum.
So anyway, that's that launched my writing career, and it's gone a long ways, as you can tell. So this one is by Samson Moss. So I apologize for the mix-up last time. One thing else, we're learning this whole deal as we go, putting this show on, and I need to get these poems printed out on paper next time. So
You're crushing it. Don't let
I
anybody
know,
tell you different,
just
man.
totally crushing it, dude. Serendipity by Samson Moss. He's our neighbor to the north. Serendipity is attained when we seem to gain a welcome sense of belonging. Cozy cow camps and the lack of fence is where the heart is longing. He recalls the bunkhouse late at night where he'd sit and braid under a kerosene light, anticipating. For tomorrow, it'll just be him and that young sorrel. To pitch, it seems like she's always debating. The circles he rode around Battle Mountain were strange. They seemed to turn his mind out to a unique sort of range, donating a sense of morale to his wandering ways. Nobody seems to know what it is we all seek. In terms of direction, its tracks remain rather oblique, hence why it's always found after we're led astray. He's never considered another life for himself. He won't ever put his freedom up on the shelf. But cowboying ain't all he knows. That's right, he's got other skills that could perhaps pay the bills. However, this is a life he chose. Father Time has sure flown by. For many an outfit, he's shown a lot of try. His reputation's his prized possession. Never down about leaving. If a woman or a boss becomes deceiving, it's always on to the next one. I reckon that's a requirement for those not contemplating retirement. If you're doing what you love, it don't always seem like work. And that's just it. Behind a desk, he refuses to sit. Cowboying's a task he won't ever shirk. It's Samson is he's a friend of the show. He's listened for quite a while, and he's actually a custom hat maker. I think it's medicine hats. I'm not for sure, but yeah. Okay. Samson Moss, though, he's up there in Alberta, and he's a good guy. Writes some pretty cool poetry, and yeah. So he sent that to me.
Still thinking of snow Mexicans.
Snow Mexicans. Well,
Come on.
I can't take credit for that term, but it is a funny term. Snow
I don't want to know where you heard that.
I think it was a fake Donald Trump tweet, if I remember right. It might have been a real one. You never know. Donald Trump would say that.
You don't want to know where you.
It's all right. He's blocked from social media, so it's fine now, right?
Stupid son of a bitch.
It is good to see the conservatives riled up over some curse words again, though. They kind of lost the caring about talking properly when Trump was in office. But now that Biden said it, everybody's upset, and it feels like the world's getting back to normal again. You know,
We're fighting verbally again.
yeah, I kind of like it. So anyway, you're gonna have to hang with me on this one because I know my audience and I kind of know the crowd here, but so you just have to hang with me. But Joe Biden might be one of the better presidents as far as just like straight up Americanness. He shit his pants in front of the Pope, and he ripped ass in front of the Duchess of Cornwall. I don't know what significance the Duchess of Cornwall plays in world politics, because I don't care about the royal family, but the fact that the sitting, shitting president of the United States ripped ass in front of the royal family and apparently just carried on with his conversation too, is the most American goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life. And for all of his other faults, that is the most American thing ever, and Joe Biden needs credit for that. The rest of it, maybe not so much, but I can't think of anything more American, can you?
That's about as American as apple pie.
I think Justin just went to the bathroom. He bought us these, but I wanted to cheers all you guys.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you all so
Thanks
much.
for hanging with us. Thanks for being. Thank you to the stage door, and here's to you.
Be sure to tip your servers, your hostesses, treat them right. They've treated us really well here at the stage door. We love playing here, and we'll be back here next year as long as they'll have us.
That didn't even taste like there was any alcohol.
I'm not
there.
sure what that was. It was
It was called a bet. It's a Betty White.
R.I.P.
What's in it? I don't.
Betty White. That was like the last thing that all Americans could agree on. Was Betty White.
Yep. Woman that was older than Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank died too soon.
Hell yeah.
They all share a birthday, by the way.
Oh, look at this. Trivia night, too.
Trivia night.
You guys didn't even know that.
Grandpa, I've been thinking about you lately, wondering if you found your peace of mind. I bet you'd be proud to know your grandson never crossed the Mason-Dixon line. But I still sing the old songs that you taught me, and I still pray to Jesus now and then. Just like you, I wish that he would save me. See the day the South would rise again. Daddy wore his Purple Heart so proudly, long before I turned into a man. Buried with our flag across his casket, I was still too young to understand. But I still sing the old songs that you taught me. I still pray to Jesus now and then. Just like you, I wish that he would save me. See the day the South would rise again. Well, Mama spent her last years in the garden, while I took my turn behind a gun. Lord, I'd give my life to know the freedom behind the words, the old songs that you sung. From this valley, they say that you are leaving, Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy loved you so true. Grandpa, I've been thinking about you lately.
All right. Hell yeah.
All right. I freaking love that song.
Yeah, that was. You guys are really bringing the mood down with all these sad, sappy songs. You know, I mean they're good. They're good.
Want me to play Wagon Wheel or something?
I might. Oh.
I just released this song yesterday on all the streaming devices.
Oh.
And Matt doesn't have a writing credit in it, so I got nobody's hands in my pocket.
Why don't we just put it on the phone, Sam? We don't have to be all show off and shit.
Eric's song kind of... Yeah, I wanted to play this because this is a song about my granddad. I like to say I have granddaddy issues. But only because he was one of my very best friends. And he left this earth right when he was supposed to, but damn, do I miss that guy. One day he gave me his saddle. That was pretty cool. And one of my favorite poems is actually by Red Steagall. It's The Best Seat in the House. And I listened to that a lot. And I listened to it before he even gave me that saddle. I never thought I could write anything as good as that. And then this song kind of took shape this winter. So this is called Colorado Double. Papa always said he was 15 hands at his nose. When he measured my mare, he stood up on his toes. Taught me everything he knew from the head to the tail. How to tie a diamond hitch and how to cut a good trail. How to sit real deep when that old mare up and blows. Learned it all from him, and God, I hope that shows. Never thought I'd see him give that saddle away, 'cause he'd been riding since 1931 nearly every single day. It was a Colorado double with a 18 seat. Smelled like sweat baked in by the heat, and baptized in creeks and dust and mud and clay. When he gave it to me, I didn't know what to say. He said, "You got years to grow and mountains left to climb. Plenty of trail to cut if your heart's like mine. Hope you don't trade it even down to your last dime. 'Cause when you're riding, I'll be with you every time." Funny how the years flew by once he was gone. How many different horses have I swung that saddle on? I haven't met a better friend in my life, besides my patient and loving wife. She loves the way I keep his memory strong. Family matters most to those who pass it on. And I've still got years to grow and mountains left to climb. Plenty of trail to cut inside this heart of mine. Wouldn't trade that leather even down to my last dime. 'Cause when I'm riding, Papa's with me every time. When our boy grows up, I'll teach him what I know. Give him tips to help him ride and room to grow. I've gotta stay in good shape and stay alive until our boy turns at least 35. And then he's got his own son there in tow. And I can give that saddle to him before I go. 'Cause he'll have years to grow and mountains left to climb. Plenty trail to cut if his heart's like mine. Hoping he don't trade it even down to his last time. 'Cause when he's riding, I'll be with him every time. In that saddle, Papa's with you every time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. I just released that one yesterday. If you guys feel inclined, head over to whatever service you stream stuff with and look up Colorado Double, and it'd mean a lot to me. So.
But what if they're Neil Young fans?
Then they need to speak to the manager.
Oh, okay. All right, just checking.
Hey, my, I want to speak to the manager of Spotify.
It's a great meme. I don't know who made that, but it was a great meme.
Good stuff.
No, that song I really liked that, and I mean I could have had a writing credit on it if you'd allowed me, but it's whatever.
I held back.
It's whatever. I get
kind
it.
of a greedy goblin.
Whatever. But it just the story behind it. Your granddad's giving you the saddle, and I often ponder and philosophize while I'm on horseback, and that's kind of the genesis of the whole podcast, and thus this show here is you spend a lot of time just you and your horse when you cowboy for a living, and there's a lot of thoughts that go through your mind. And now with technology the way it is, I've got an earbud in my ear most of the time, and I'm listening to stuff constantly, whether it be music, podcast, news, whatever. And there's been a lot of changes since the American cowboy had its beginnings back in the 1400s or whenever with the Spaniards coming over. But cowboying hadn't changed a whole lot. Those little Spaniards figured out pretty quick that moving cattle a horseback was the best way to do it, and not much has changed on that end. There's been a lot of stuff, and then just the spirit of cowboying. Cowboy has been romanticized a lot through the years, but at the end of the day, it's a guy that's on the horse punching cows, and usually that guy doesn't like people all that well, and he's real quick to tell you to go flip sand and roll your bed and on to the next one. And after I asked Eric to join us here. He's, like I said, he's down in Oklahoma, right on Texas-Oklahoma line. And I watched him on Facebook posting all his trade bag, and he's just trading his way across the country to come play a show. And I was like, that ain't cowboy. I don't know what is, because it may be using modern technology, but it's the good old trade bag. What do you got? Well, let's barter. Let's gamble, And I love it. So this show is it's all about the working cowboy, because I love this lifestyle. That's why we choose it. There's that poem I wrote. We've all got other skills. You can see these guys are very talented, but at the end of the day, like I don't know, I can make money, a lot more money doing something else, but I like punching cows, and that's just kind of the life we live. And there's a reason there's not many of us, because a lot of people want to do it until the old sayings, everybody wants to do cowboy or be a cowboy until it's time to do cowboy shit, and that usually comes around wintertime. Most of the time, that's when you get your biggest drop off in cowboys is wintertime.
Romance goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the romance gets very unromantic. Oh. Well, what do you got?
Got you Chris Ledoux tune? I don't know.
Oh shit, yeah. Let's.
Chris Ledoux's one I've always heard play.
I can dig it.
You don't see him much on the big screen anymore. Kids don't ride along with Roy or Jane. They're riding fences. Still makes his living with his rope. And as long as there's a sunset, he'll be riding for the brand. You just can't see him from the road. Well, he's tall in the saddle. He's kind of short on the cash. He's last to quit, first to buy the beer. He's had one or two good horses that he counts among his friends. Never drew a breath that wasn't free. He's still out there riding fences. Still makes his living with his rope. As long as there's a sunset, he'll keep riding for the brand. You just can't see him from the road. He's still out there riding fences. Still makes his living with his rope. As long as there's a sunset, he'll keep riding for the brand. You just can't see him from the road. Yeah, as long as there's a sunset, he'll keep riding for the brand. Just can't see him from the road.
Hell yeah.
Thank y'all.
Cowboy anthem there.
That's probably my very favorite Chris Ledoux song. Very
Yeah,
nice job.
like I said, I don't know who wrote that. I've heard several different versions, but the Chris Ledoux version's
It's one of
always
them-
my favorite.
Chris Ledoux sang a lot of old songs that, I mean, old, like 100-year-old songs.
Yeah, old trail songs.
But then he sang some like that some old boy could have passed him at a bar, or he could have wrote himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never looked up to see who wrote it, but I always like Chris's version best.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you got?
Well, I want to invite Mr. Eric Johnson up here for this one.
Yeah,
Eric and I are in a band together back up in Kootenai County there, and we're in a band called Gin Smoking Lies. Look us up on the internet. And he road tripped down with me and Dylan here, and when I wrote this song a while back, and Eric came over and we hashed it out together. So this. So I'm a big fan of Ian Tyson, and this is not plagiarism, but this song's called Horse Thief Moon. And yeah. And it's not so like a Horse Thief Moon, it's got a you all know, hopefully you all know the moniker there. An accordion, be playing the Too Fat Polka up here. We got the accordion.
Play the polka without the accordion.
You know the Too Fat Polka? I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. My grandma, no joke, me and my grandma used to dance to that in the kitchen.
Nice.
That's a true story. But this song, like a Horse Thief Moon, full moon, all that, it's supposed to be like, you could steal a horse. But a full moon's also kind of a romantic thing. So there's like love and there's theft. And I wanted to bridge the gap between those two things in this song. So this song's called Horse Thief Moon, and Mr. Eric Silvertits Johnson's backing me up here. takes a night like this to draw me out. I'm suppressing the urge to scream and shout. 'Cause we'll go nowhere with anger in bloom. It's just a blossom in the light of a horse thief moon. I take 10 deep breaths and 9 release. Hold the last one in and hope for peace. Because we'll go nowhere with anger in bloom. It's just a blossom in the light of a horse thief moon. I went out on the mountain to clear my mind, 'cause I'll never find peace leaving you behind. You can't look me in the eye when we're in the same room. Always lying in the light of a horse thief moon. Good friend's eyes to find you out. Well, I was out on the mountain, you were out on the town. I cursed the night sky for him stealing you and helping cheaters with the light of a horse thief moon. Give it up for Eric Johnson, everybody.
Sir, good.
Hell yeah. That was awesome, fellas.
He's also doing sound tonight, so.
Hell yeah. Let's give it up for Sam and that guy,
Thank you, guys.
Silver Tits.
Got anything to read out of that book, Matt?
Oh, I got a,
I saw a dirty picture fall out of that earlier.
yeah.
Would
Know
you
what you're
like
looking
to
at
show
in
it to
there.
the class?
Calm down, Ro. Wasn't one of yours. Joking. This one, well, partner, you want to just come up and read it yourself?
Yeah, let's get him up.
Ow! No,
We're all friends here. Come on, man.
He's saving his pipes for tomorrow. He's gonna auction off some stuff for us. We got a gal
yeah.
up in Idaho that banged herself up pretty good in a car wreck earlier this year, and she's doing all right, but got a lot of medical bills. So there's a snaffle bit over there and a pair of spurs. The spurs are not going tonight, but the guy who made those spurs will be making a custom set. We're gonna auction those off tomorrow. We got some raffle stuff, and then all the proceeds will go towards Calamity Cass is her name. I don't know her last name. I know her fairly well, but I don't know her last name. We'll do that. But I'll let you off the hook tonight, partner. But you gotta jazz up the crowd and raise us some money tomorrow. So no pressure. It's called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by Parker Jordan. There's good horses, there's bad horses, and there's ugly horses. There's good dogs, there's bad dogs, and there's ugly dogs. There's good cowboys, there's bad cowboys, and there's damn sure ugly cowboys. But a pretty bad cowboy can make a good horse, but a pretty bad cowboy can't make a good horse or a good dog. However, A good and ugly cowboy can make an ugly horse look good and an ugly dog look good. Although, if you ask a good cowboy how good he is, he'll say he's pretty bad. If you ask a good cowboy how good his horse is, he'll say it's pretty bad. And if you ask a good cowboy how good his dog is, he'll say it's pretty bad. But if you ask a bad cowboy the same 3 questions, he'll say they're all pretty dang good, and that's just bad. That's good, partner. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a very true statement. My dad always said, like, you don't call yourself a cowboy until other cowboys call you a cowboy. That's kind of when you hit that hierarchy. Up until that point, you're just sitting a horseback. Anyone else?
I'm just waiting.
Take your word
I'm
for
just
it.
waiting for somebody to call me a cowboy.
I would never call you a cowboy, Sam. You're a hell of a songwriter, and my favorite emo.
You've called me
songwriter.
emo, a bunch of things I can't say up here.
Oh, you can say them. It's a safe space, Sam.
No, I cannot.
What'd you call me?
Emo.
My wife's really not liking that joke that I did earlier, so I'm just gonna.
About the dirty pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
On that on me.
Eric, save us.
I don't have any dirty pictures on my phone.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
This one's called The Auctioneer.
Hell yeah.
Hey, well, all right, sir, open the gate and let 'em out and welcome, boys. Here we come, a lot of number 29 in. What are you gonna give for 'em? Got 25 down, what it now? $30 down, what it now? $30 bill now, 35. Well, there was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his mom when she told him he should go to school. He'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, then pretty soon find him at the local auction barn. And he'd stand and listen carefully, and pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer talked so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die, I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark, be an auctioneer. A $25 bidder, not a $30 30. Would he give me 30? Make it a 30, bid it upon $30. Would a bid a 30, would a bid a $30 bill. $30 bidder, not a 35. Would a bid a 35 to make it 35, bid a 35. Who would have bid it at a $35 bill? As time went on, he did his best, and all could see he didn't just practice calling bids both night and day. And his folks would find him behind the barn, just lurking up an awful storm as he tried to imitate the auctioneer. His pap said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man selling things at auction using our good name. I'll send you off to auction school, and you'll be nobody's fool. You can take your place among the best. A $35 bidder, not a $40 40. Would it give me 40? Make it a 40, bid it upon a $40. Would a bid a 40? Would a bid a $40 bill? $40 bidder, not a 45. Would a bid a 45 to make it 45? Bid a 45. So would a bid it at a $45 bill? So from that boy that went to school, there came a man that played it cool and came back home a full-fledged auctioneer. And the people came from miles around just to hear him make that rhythmic sound that filled their hearts with such a happy cheer. And his fame spread out from shore to shore. He had all he could do and more. Had to buy a plane to get around. Now he's the tops in all the land. Let's pause and give that man a hand. He's the best of all the auctioneers. A $45 bidder, not a $50 50. Would he give me 50? Make it a 50 bid upon a $50. Who would bid a 50? Who would bid a $50 bill? $50 bidder, not a 55. Who would bid a 55? To make a 55, bid a 55. Sold that steer for a $50 bill.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
You're an excellent wingman, amigo. Every time I tell a story, he leads right into I'm just perfect. We did not plan this at all.
I love it.
I'm know. We got to take this show on the road.
I'd rather be right here in Elko.
Oh, this is a great time. Great time. Hell yeah. What do you got, Sambo?
I'm going to bring it down here for a minute.
Of course you are.
So this song is about a friend of mine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We'll say friend. Alcoholism runs in my family, and that's not it's not an easy thing to talk about. It's even easier. It's not even that easy because people in glass houses, right? Like you shouldn't throw stones. You shouldn't talk down to people about it.
When in Rome.
When you're, in the same boat. But as far as it goes with me and him, I felt like I enabled a lot of it. And he's good now. He's clean, and his kids are great. But his kids deserve the best. I love those kids. They're just beautiful little kids, and they deserve to grow up with a dad that's of sound mind and making good choices and showing them the right way. And so I wrote this song called "Ghost in the Tack Room" from the perspective of one of his kids. So. Been told that this old barn's been haunted since I was young. There's a feeling I get, a familiar taste on my tongue, and I feel when I linger, I can't put my finger just what it is in that room. The more time that I spend, my thoughts never end. All night turns to morning real soon. There's a ghost in the tack room that I know too well. It's the only place on this old farm that Daddy found peace, where he hid all them bottles and bargained with God on his knees. And I inherited the trade where the bottle feels great in the palm of my cold and weathered hand. When I'm strong in my choice, I can hear the devil's voice testing the resolve of this man. There's a ghost in the tack room that I know too well. Daddy used to tuck me in at night, head up to the barn, and I'd see a light where Daddy'd spend the rest of his nights howling at the moon, boiling and drinking and fixing that whole room. Seems like it lasted a blink till Daddy succumbed to the drink. Now there's a ghost in the tack room that I know too well. And I'll sit here and stare at that bottle he left on the wall, say prayer after prayer as I kneel on the boards in this stall. promise that I'm all done won't pass on to my son. The burden that closed Daddy's eyes, look his ghost in the face and put it in its place. Swear not to break down and cry. Now there's a ghost in the tack room that I know too well. There's a ghost in the tack room. I'll put it back on the shelf.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you successfully brought us all the way down. So
I brought it down again, I know.
I know. That's what you do, Sam. You're an emo. We get it.
I just really, I was like, what if those kids grow up without a dad, you know? And they aren't going to, and they won't. But when I wrote that song, it was a very real possibility. So.
Well, it's a great song. I do enjoy it. I just like busting your balls because you're very talented and shit. So I don't want your head to get all big. So
still 7 1/4.
Emo. 7 1/4. Good God.
I know. I got a noggin.
That is massive. All right. This poem is from a fella named Cody Hammond. He's also a listener of the show, and he sent this to me. It's called Dynamite Glue. We bought that bay horse when I was a teen. Didn't have no clue he'd turn out to be this mean. Price of $10 couldn't be beat for a solid young bay with hooves of concrete. He was a good-looking stud, turned every head, but if you weren't on your toes, he'd put you to bed. And don't get me wrong, he weren't the worst horse I rode, but make one mistake and he'd likely explode. He earned the name Dynamite, and for good reason. But there was always a rodeo, no matter the season. His spirit as wild as a West Texas plain, with lightning in his heart and thunder in his veins. He'd turn on a dime, then break right in two, turn his belly to the sky and bid you adieu. We sold him years later after he broke my spine, when he run me up under that big pinyon pine. He was a mean S.O.B., and that much was true, but it turns out he made some dynamite glue. It's I don't know what it is about cowboy poems and songs. They're always about a bad horse. Like there's a lot of heartbreak in country songs, but most good cowboy songs are about a mean, nasty horse.
I can't follow you up on that one.
Damn it! Thought we were going for the trifecta.
I know it. I don't even remember what I was going to play. I had it in my head 30 seconds ago.
Was it Wagon Wheel?
It was not Wagon Wheel. I tell you. Red-headed stranger, Blue Rock, Montana, rode into town one day, riding along on a raging black stallion, hoping behind was a bay. Little lost love lay asleep on the hillside. His heart was heavy inside. Don't cross him, don't boss him. He's a wild in his sorrow, riding and hiding his pain. Don't fight him, don't spite him. Just wait till tomorrow. Maybe he'll ride on again. Well, a yellow-haired lady looked out of her window, watched watched as they passed her way. She drew back in fear at the sight of the stallion, and cast greedy eyes on the babe. How could she know that this dancing bay pony meant more to him than life? This was the horse that his little lost darling had ridden when she was his wife. Don't fight him, don't cross him, he's wild in his sorrow, riding and hiding his pain. Don't fight him, don't spite him, just wait till tomorrow, maybe he'll ride on again. The yellow-haired lady went down to the tavern, looked up the stranger there. He bought her a drink and he gave her some money. He just didn't seem to care. She followed him out as he saddled the stallion, laughed as she grabbed before the bay. They shot her so quick they had no time to warn her. Never heard anyone say, don't cross him, don't boss him, he's wild in his sorrow, riding and hiding his pain. Don't fight him, don't spite him, just wait till tomorrow, maybe he'll ride on again. The yellow-haired lady buried at sunrise, the stranger rode free, of course, 'cause you can't hang a man for killing a woman who's trying to steal your horse. Well, this is the tale of the red-headed stranger, if he should pass your way. Out of the path of the raging black stallion, don't lay a hand on the blade. Don't cross him, don't boss him, he's wild in his sorrow, riding and hiding his pain. Don't fight him, don't spite him, just wait till tomorrow, maybe he'll ride on again.
Hell yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. I like that one.
Awesome, man.
I like that.
I gotta play something upbeat. I'm dying. I'm like, I gotta play something upbeat. You guys want to hear old Silvertits come on up here again and play with us?
Yeah.
Come on up here. Let's play a little dance card. You know what I'm saying? This song I wrote, and Eric and I played together a lot. This song I wrote when I was living in, I wrote it after I lived there, but I lived in Gardner, Montana for a while, working for the Park Service. And I got some fun. Actually, there's some funny story. I'll tell this story real quick, because we've been joking about it all day. This one time I was sitting on the side of the road there, and well, I don't know if you guys know it, but in Yellowstone National Park there are a lot of Chinese people. And yeah, right? They have cameras and selfie sticks and no boundaries. And so I was sitting on the side of the road, this van rolls up, and it's dragging some. The van comes up, and I look at the guy, and I'm like, "Sir, there's something caught underneath your car." And he goes, "Caught?" And I'm like, "There's something dragging underneath your van." And he goes, "Dragging?" Can't make this up. So we've been joking about that all day, dragging. Dragging? But,
Hey, do you think there's selfie sticks look like chopsticks?
potentially.
Oh, man.
We live in an age where if you can think of it and Google it, it exists.
Man.
But this song was about a girl I saw while I was in Gardner. It's called I Won't Be Back for More.
Oh, I won't be
back for more. Dragon? You pay now. Hot?
I had your dance card in the palm of my fist. I had your loving only fools wouldn't miss.
So no resist.
I had your touch and then I had your sweet kiss. And I won't be back for more.
No more.
Sometimes you hurt me so bad I couldn't breathe. With every dirty little trick up your sleeve. Gave me the final push I needed to leave. And I won't be back for more.
You did
This
see
time
him.
I won't be back for more. You said we're meant for each other, and you tear me apart. Oh, misery loves company, and it's filling up your heart. And you get nice and sweet, and beg me for a fresh start. This time I won't be back for more. No, I won't be back for more. Take it away, Silverton. I've got a ticket headed somewhere nice. Ain't got no plan yet, but I'm rolling the dice. Gotta get away from your fire and ice. And I won't be back for more. So heaven help me if I turn back around and find myself inside this used-up town. And I hope to God that you know where to be found. 'Cause I won't be back for more. This time I won't be back for more. No, I won't be back for more. No, I won't be back for more. No, I won't be back for more.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Eric Johnson, everybody. The one and only. Well, there's a few Eric Johnsons out there, but
That was awesome. That was awesome.
thanks, guys. I don't know if you caught the name of that song, but it's called I Won't Be Back for More.
You won't be back.
Said it a few times in there.
You'll not see him around. Come back now.
It was up tempo, not upbeat. Yeah. Creature of habit, one trick pony.
Well, Eric, you want to do one more?
Oh, yeah, I'll close this one out. I'll play another Chris Ledoux song.
Hell yeah.
"17, cowboys drink, ain't on fixing fences. Once he seen 'em riding old Cheyenne. Ranch routines and his old man schemes. This ain't where his heart is. But you know his daddy understands. Noonday comes and father and son sit down and eat their dinner. Beneath that big Wyoming sky, Daddy knows he's gotta let him go. Boy can't be a winner if he don't spread his wings and fly. In his mind, he's riding bulls down in Las Vegas. Soon he'll be on a trail that leads to Santa Fe. And the sweet voice of freedom echoes down the ages, calls another cowboy on his way. All that stuff.
Had it till you lost it.
That's not usually one that takes that much practice. Morning sun finds him packed and ready. Mama kissed his cheek and then she went inside. This old man, well, he shook his hand. Son, you're not even pretty. Didn't see the tears that his mama cried. In his mind, he's riding bulls down in Las Vegas. Today he's on a trail that leads to Santa Fe. Sweet voice of freedom echoes down the ages and calls another cowboy on his way. Try that again. Thank y'all for bearing with me.
That was awesome, man. Well, I guess it's about that time.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna play for me?
Yeah, I'll play.
Okay. Well, you get ready. I wanted to kind of end this, pay a little tribute to the great Baxter Black. He just recently wrote his final article for any number of publications that he writes for, but that was kind of a bittersweet deal. It felt a lot like when Paul Harvey went off the air. You know, just you grow up and you know him, and I listened to Paul Harvey pretty religiously. I didn't read Baxter Black real religiously, but if you're in the feed store, wherever you pick up the fence post and you flip to the back and you find On the Edge of Common Sense, see what Baxter Black had to say. And now you can't do that. And that's a little, it sucks, but it happens. But his very final article I thought was really good because Baxter Black's got away with words. So I'm going to read that. And then I got a song that I don't know how my yodel's going to do today, Sam, but a little scratchy, but we'll give her a go. I like living someplace where a horse matters. There's just some country where the horseback is the only way to get the job done. Places where the four-wheeler is a poor second, not to mention the noisy, track-leaving, unnatural conveyance. Besides, it's hard to throw a rope from. Helicopters can spot and scare if that's what you need, but it's helpless when you have to doctor a calf. It's a great feeling to be pushing a cow out of a mesquite thicket, packing a dude down the Grand Canyon, or tracking a mountain lion on a high ridge, knowing you're on the perfect tool for the job. You look at a horse different when he's on the payroll. I like being a person to whom a horse matters. puts me in such good company as Robert E. Lee, Teddy Roosevelt, Rudyard Kipling, Ray Hunt, Queen Elizabeth, Jerry Diaz, Casey Tibbs, cowboys, Mongols, gauchos, teamsters, lip-designers, and vaqueros of all kinds. Granted, being a horse person doesn't make me easier to get along with, better at spelling, or richer. It simply gives me a direct connection to one of those most ancient, mutually beneficial interspecies relationships on the planet. Winston Churchill said there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man. I like being there when a horse matters. When you can't, you do the job alone. A cow in the bog, a race against time, a boulder to move, a detour to take, a mountain to cross, a crevice to leap, a war to win, a sweetheart to impress, you're welcome, Ro, or when you've gone too far to walk back. Also, I love you. Shakespeare's King Richard III said, when fate hung in balance, a horse, my kingdom for a horse. I've also come to believe that you either are a horse person or you aren't. Many who are never know it because they never have the chance. It's a primitive acceptance, often mutual, a lack of fear. You see it in some children when they are first introduced to the horse. It always gives me a sense of wonder to be there and help them make their acquaintance. I believe the horse can sense a child's innate trust. It is the beginning of a natural bond. I count myself very lucky that I get to be a part of the wonderful world of horse sweat, soft noses, close calls, and twilight on the trail. I like living life where a horse matters. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I wasn't joking about the yodel. I'll give it a go. I'm lonesome but happy. I'm rich but I'm broke, and the good Lord knows the reason. I'm just a cowpoke with no rhythm either. Cheyenne to Austin, them ranges I know as I drift with the wind. No one cares where I go. Ain't got a cent in these old wore-out jeans, so I quit eating steak, go back to beans. I pick up a 10 spot in Prescott, I know, just to ride in the sheep in the youth rodeo. That's about all the rough stuff I can handle. Maybe in the springtime, Billy I'll find, and I might spend all summer with her on my mind. Never be branded, I'll never be broke. I'm a carefree range riding, a drifting cowpoke.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
I think Sophia's got something to say. You want to close the show? Well, thanks everybody for coming out. We truly appreciate your company. Thank you for being such a great audience. Let's hear it for Eric Shields out of Oklahoma. Thank you Sam McCue and old Silver Tits out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And I'm Matt McKinley. I host the Burnin Daylight podcast, and I'm very grateful you all showed up. Sophia, how do we end it?
I forgot.
Move.
You know it.
Move your ass and we're burning daylight.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.